where she would just tell people to like fuck off all the time
Yeah.
and like quit, but which she might do. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Now what I guess Marcos was talking over Kelsey. Right? Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to remember how the flow of the conversation went.
You know what, Sean, it's probably one of these things. It's like, I think Gabby was already pissed at Marcos. And
Yeah.
so like she wasn't necessarily looking for an excuse to like rail on him, but she got one, so she kind of used it.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I'm a huge fan of Gabby. But I think she at some point I feel like she might have had an agenda going in, not maybe going into that dinner, but at some point in that dinner, Marcos just kind of pissed her off and she's like, all right, I'm going after this guy.
Yeah. And also we got to bring up, so I think Daisy also at dinner is like complimenting Ashley, and Ashley returns the favors and like how great Daisy is. And Gabby goes, I wish I was better at sucking dick. Like
she even does like the was it like old school where the guy's just like grabbing like dicks in the air.
Oh god, yeah. No, look, I think we pointed this out a few episodes ago that I feel like Daisy and Ashley just are kind of friends. Like they kind of click.
Yeah.
Seems like they're really comfortable with each other. They're like talking to each other. And Gabby just doesn't have that with those two. And tough place to be. And like Daisy has defended Gabby quite a bit. She's been a really good boss to this point, I think. I told Ashley, like, hey, she's still your second stew. You gotta like respect her. But yeah, so Gabby's on edge all night. And then we go back home. Oh, John, one more thing about that dinner. That view of that restaurant was amazing.
Oh my god! Yeah, absolutely.
That looked great.
Yeah, I will say there was one thing about that dinner, Sean. There was a cigarette break.
Oh,
so the power couple, Daisy and Gary, go out to kind of like clear the air a little bit. And dude, I tell you, below deck sailing yacht cannot have a cigarette break with all hell breaking loose. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, and it doesn't it doesn't break loose because of them, but it's just while they're gone.
When they're gone, it's just like you're leaving two people that hate each other at the table, and they just go after each other. And sure enough, by the time Daisy's done ripping a cig, Gabby's like down the road already.
Yeah. Yeah, she just leaves the table. Man. Well, and then obviously cab ride home. Big thing here. So I'm a little confused in the way they divide up the cabs. So I think one cab is Daisy, Kelsey, and Gabby. Nothing's happening there.
No.
Like Daisy's napping on the way home, but then like is wide awake as soon as they get back to the boat.
Yeah.
So that was just a lame cab ride. The other one though, Gary makes out with Ashley.
Here's the thing. Ashley didn't get into that cab on accident, okay?
No. She put herself,
Yeah. So on the cab ride there, it was boys and girls.
Mm.
And on the cab ride back, it's boys and girls, but Ashley switches. So sober Ashley jumps in the cab with girls. Tipsy Ashley jumps in the cab with boys. And so, yeah, Gary makes out with her. I remember the next morning, Gary's like, I don't remember making out with Ashley, but you did, Gary. So that kind of like starts to fuel a couple things, because obviously when they get back, now Gary's not having anything. I think he's a little tired, so he doesn't partake in the hot tub, which, Sean, at least we got a good hot tub in this episode, right?
We did. I was disappointed in Gary.
Yeah.
But like he's still involved later, obviously.
Right.
Hey, yeah, him and Kelsey go to why doesn't Kelsey do the hot tub?
Because she's on anchor watch, man. She's like, her whole sleep schedule is messed up.
John Luke managed to, but like
John look at where he is now.
Yeah, John Luke's another story, I guess. Just no screen time. You're missing all the fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, a little disappointing Gary, but still a fun hot tub scene. Trying to think of a highlight. Oh, Colin got in. Dude, they were like people were like taking body shots. It was good. Daisy was out there like running it. And I feel like as long as you have two between Colin, Gary, and Daisy, you're gonna have a good time. It doesn't matter which two. If you have three, that's great, but you had two.
Um, so it was good. And yeah, I mean, Gabby was, drinking a little bit and Ashley was drinking a little bit. And then so Gabby gets out and jumps to bed with Gary. And lo and behold, who notices? Ashley kind of starts like freaking out, like talking really loud, being I said this, I like tweeted out. I was like, this was like in the break before she fell. I was like, listen, she's making everything about her. Before she went to bed / fell, she was being defensive, jealous, and rude. Now I'm not a monster, Sean. I really hope she was okay when she fell, and sure enough, she was okay. But she was just being like very annoying before she went to bed. Telling Colin, she said something. She was like, I'm not jealous, while she was being very jealous.
So Colin kept like needling her, like, no, you are.
Yeah.
I never argued with a girl about whether or not she was jealous of, like, that's never been in Colin's situation there.
Here's the thing. I think it's very infrequent when you accuse someone of being jealous and they're actually not jealous. Like, it's a very apparent like trait, right? Or it's a very apparent emotion. Like, you can't be sneaky jealous. But yeah, Ashley was jealous, and she's just like, I think she's just not used to losing, or not used to losing around guys. And
well, she is, though, because of her sister.
I don't buy that whole story, though. I don't.
Neither do I. Yeah,
I don't buy anything about that story.
Agreed. I love how Daisy just sends her to bed.
Yeah, because she realized, like, she's like, all right, if Gabby's in that bed, then Ashley's going to be pissed. Let's just get her to bed.
Daisy also scolds Gary for like,
for what though? He was sleeping. He went to bed. He came home from dinner and just went to bed. Is it his fault Gabby's in his bed?
It happened to him last season all the time when Sydney just hop into his bed too.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Sydney.
Man, no. He's cool with Gabby being there. Like, yeah, he's not gonna
kick her out.
Yeah, right. She just says she wants to snuggle. I feel like they must do more. They did last time, right?
Yeah.
They like made out and stuff. I mean,
yeah. I think, she's struggling. She doesn't really have a relationship with Ashley, she doesn't have a relationship with Ashley. She doesn't really have a good relationship with Daisy. Not bad, just like not strong, I think, at this point. And so, she's found someone that she can at least like, cuddle up to and maybe get some comfort. So that's probably why she does it.
Yeah, which I think she says later, talking to Gary, like, you and Kelsey are my people.
Yeah.
No one has a problem with Kelsey. And Kelsey's, I guess, why would you, right?
No, Kelsey's like the Switzerland of yachties.
Yeah.
But Sean, you want to get into the next day then?
Well, okay. Ashley falling out of bed.
Oh yeah.
That's a funny fall. So, John, I didn't know this. My fiance, she's a pharmacist, but like, she knows some medical stuff. When you're drunk, you're less likely to get injured from a fall because your muscles don't tense up before the fall.
Oh yeah.
Like, you're more pliable.
Don't they say that about like car crashes too? Like,
yeah,
it's like if you're in like an accident, like, but if you're drunk, you're more likely to like walk away. Now, obviously you shouldn't be driving, but if you like happen to be in the back seat of a car and it gets into an accident, if you've been drinking, you're like more likely to be okay, I guess.
Yeah. Because your muscles don't tense up. And right. I think that's like Tom Brady's, the TB12 method. He teaches his body when he gets sacked to like not tighten up.
Yeah.
Ragdoll.
Ragdoll. Yeah.
But so I didn't know that. So I learned something today. But she handled it well though. You got to give Ashley that. She gets right back up and is like,
cries for a minute, but that's fine. That's expected. Yeah.
She's lucky, like her legs like hit the bottom bunk before her head hit the ground. Yeah.
Or there was like the door handle was like a couple inches away.
Close.
If she hit that door handle, oof, that's a different story. Yeah, that's part of your head getting taken off like Marcos.
Yeah.
Was not good. So good for. I was glad nothing happened to her. Right. That's where we land. We're not monsters. And then Sean, you want to talk about the next day here a little bit?
We gotta,
dude. So like I swear I didn't know if Gabby was gonna last this episode. Like she confides in Ashley. She confides in Ashley. Yeah.
So weird, right?
Yeah. I thought that was the weirdest thing. Like, and then she also says, like, don't tell Daisy. It's like, all right, well, now Ashley's gonna tell Daisy. So
I think I would love if one of our female viewers wants to email us or tweet at us. I feel like girls will sometimes share very personal stuff with other girls they're not friends with, just to try to establish something.
Okay.
That's literally something not one guy has ever done.
Yeah.
That I've ever met, at least. But yeah, because I'm like, why is she like she wakes up late, which not great.
No.
And then Daisy kind of has a little quick meeting with the girls and is like, you guys got to chill out. I know stuff a little bit. Like she kind of does scold Gabby, like, you can't crawl in bed with Gary when he's asleep.
Yeah.
She kind of, it's about to me too, Gabby.
Yeah.
But and also like in Ashley, like, you gotta control yourself. Like you guys are gonna get hurt or lose your jobs. So she does kind of like bring up like some real consequences.
Yeah.
She does it in a very like casual way though. I mean,
that's kind of like Gab. Yeah, but that's also like Daisy's kind of like
tone and voice, and
it was to the point where it was like bad but not dire. Like she's like we're gonna get to a point where this conversation goes differently, but right now we're at this point where it's like, hey, these are like warnings,
And I feel like Gabby's a perfectionist. I feel like some people like that, if they're like ever told, like, that think they're good at their job, and Gabby is good at her job. But if you're like ever criticized, you take it like to heart so much worse.
Yeah. And she's like a perfectionist, really.
So. Yeah, right. Where if you are more like, if you don't care, if you don't like have as much pride in your job as like Gabby does, you're not going to take criticisms as hard.
Yeah. You don't mind that you mess up every once in a while.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Like it's almost good to be not that good at your job sometimes.
I mean, it's not like she's ever dropped champagne right before the guest arrived. It's just bad timing. It's just not good.
Okay, before we get to that, but like she talks to Ashley about like wanting to leave the boat. Weird combo. Yeah,
I thought the whole thing was weird. I will say that, like, you want to kick Tom off the show, that's fine. Kick Gabby off the show, the show takes a whole different like dynamic.
Yes,
I don't think I can take it. I can't take it.
It's a weird spin. Ashley's nice to her, like, in the conversation though. Like, she's like,
I think even Ashley's like, I'm not good at this. She's like, I'm not the one that girls confide in. I'm the one that like girls talk about behind my back.
Yeah, and Ashley tries though a little bit, and then
she does.
As we mentioned earlier, her and Gary have a cigarette. She talks to him. Yeah, she's upset. She's really just upset that Daisy scolded her. But I feel like it was barely a scold.
Yeah,
you're late for work, and I don't know. It's not like she's not saying you're bad at your job or like I'm going to make Ashley second stew or anything like real.
No. She's saying like tighten up, girls. Which I think makes sense. But again, if you're a perfectionist, like you take all these things really hard. So,
should we? I guess when I get the champagne drop though.
Oh my god, dude, that's just like, it's just one of those like when it rains it pours, like the worst timing. And I mean, Gabby's already feeling pretty shitty about herself, and then this happens. Like, yeah, it's like an innocent mistake and things like that, but it's just like it's the last thing she needed.
So, John, one thing I've learned for working in this industry, not yachting, but food service and hospitality and stuff, the nicer the china, not china, the nicer the glassware,
Yeah.
the more pieces it breaks into, and